Alright, welcome back. I'm going to be giving out my picks for UFC on ESPN Plus. Number 9, we got Iaquinta taking on Cowboy Cerrone. Right off the bat, I like Iaquinta to win this fight just because he's a younger, fresher fighter with a lot of less miles on him. He has a lot of less wear and tear compared to Donald Cerrone. He's coming off a big win over Kevin Lee, and he came up to a tough loss against Habib on a fight he took on short notice. So that just shows what kind of high-level lightweight he is. To take on Habib on short notice and to go the distance and do very well, it just shows how tough of a fighter he is. He's a real force to be reckoned with. Beat Diego Sanchez and Jorge Masvidal. Some people will argue and say Masvidal won that fight, but Masvidal creamed Cowboy Cerrone, and Iaquinta and him had a tough fight, so that's something to take into consideration when making this pick here. He holds a win over Joe Lozon and Ross Pearson. So, he holds wins over tough veterans. Cerrone on the other side, he has more experience. He has a record of 35-11. He's coming off a big win over Mike Perry and Alexander Hernandez. So these guys are like prospects trying to make a name for themselves in the sport, and they're nowhere near the level of Iaquinta. Cerrone's up there in age. He's 36 years old now. You know what I mean? He has a lot of wear and tear. He's been through too much wars. So that's why I got to go Iaquinta getting it done. As we move into the co-main event, we have Derek Brunson taking on Elias Theodorou. We know Theodorou is going to be fighting in his home country of Canada. He's coming off a 3-fight win streak. He holds a big win over Eric Anders where he outgrinded him and outpointed him to a decision. Most of Elias' wins are from decisions. He beat Trevor Smith and Daniel Kelly. Him and Derek Brunson have something in common. They both faced Daniel Kelly, and Derek Brunson KO'd him as Elias beat him in a decision. Derek Brunson's on a 2-fight losing streak. He lost to Israel and also Jacare by TKO. He's an older fighter by 5 years. He's 35 years old. Elias is 30. We know he beat Machida, a former champ, but I think that the fans are going to be behind Elias here fighting in Canada, and you never know if this fight goes to the judges. You never know what can happen. So with that all being said, I got to go with the Canadian fighter. I got to go to Spartan, getting it done by decision. Cub Swanson taking on Shane Burgos in the featherweight division. I like Shane Burgos here. He has a nice reach advantage by 5 inches. He's a 5'11". Held a big win over Kurt off of an armbar in his last fight. Cub Swanson's on a 3-fight losing streak. He has a total of 35 fights, so he has a lot of miles on him. And, he's on a 3-fight losing streak, dude. He lost to Canelo Renato there. And, he lost a big fight to Brian Ortega, and also Frankie Edgar. Most of his losses are from submission, and Shane Burgos isn't bad off of his back. We just seen him win a fight by armbar. He has a total of 5 submission wins. Most of his wins are by submission. I think if he could get Cub hurt or rocked on the feet and possibly get the submission. So we want to go with the younger fighter, the fresher fighter, the youth, Shane Burgos, getting it done over the veteran Cub Swanson. Want to talk about Brad Katona taking on Marab here. Right off the bat, I like the Ultimate Fighter winner, Brad Katona, winning this fight. Brad Katona, he has a whole lot of hype around him. He's going to have the crowd supporting him, of course, because he's fighting in Canada. He's 8-0. He just beat Matthew Lopez. He outgrinded him. His strong points is really his wrestling, and I think that's his key to victory is the grappling. Katona could win it by submission, or he'd just grind out another decision. Walt Harris in the heavyweight division taking on Sergey here. The Polar Bear. The Polar Bear is 9-0. He's making his debut in the UFC. We don't really know what kind of competition he's faced. So with that all being said, I got to go with the guy who's been around the game a lot longer. I gotta go with Walt Harris. Walt Harris, he's a big dude. We know he's 6'5". He his fight against Andre Arlovski was turned to a no contest. But before that, he had a KO over Daniel here. I think the experience in Walt Harris will play a big role in getting it done here. I know he's older by 9 years, but we really haven't seen too much of the polar bear. He's from the Ukraine. So I think this will really be his first tough fight. I think Walt Harris should grind out the decision and get it done. Andrew Sanchez here taking on Mark Andre. I like the Ultimate Fighter winner, Andrew Sanchez. Just think that he's fought higher level competition. You know, this guy Mark Andre is making his debut, and it's a very tough task to take on a tough guy like Andrew Sanchez on your debut. So with that all being said, I go Andrew Sanchez getting it done. Macy Casey taking on Cheesecake here. I gotta go with Macy Casey getting it done. We've seen her coming off a big win by TKO. Sarah on the other side, you know, she's coming off of a loss. She didn't look too good in her last fight. She lost a decision. And Macy Casey, you know, she has very nasty stand-up. And she finished fights. Finished a girl in first round, Gina. And she was on a season of The Ultimate Fighter too. So I gotta go with Macy, possibly my most confident pick of the fight. Vince Morales here, taking on Ayman Sahabi. So I want to go with Sahabi getting it done here in Canada, in his own country. We know his brother Sahabi trains Rory McDonald and track star guys like George St. Pierre, so he has great training over there, and I think that'll play a role for him. His training camp, you know, tough fighters to train with, so we go Sahabi. Nordine Talib taking on Kyle Prepolek here. We gotta go with Nordine getting it done. We know Nordine was on Ultimate Fighter also. Very tough dude. He's a crafty vet now. He's coming off a 2-5 losing streak, but we know Kyle's making his debut in the UFC, and Nordine should have the experience and be able to get it done here. Kyle Nelson taking on Matt Sales. I want to go on Kyle Nelson here to win this fight. I think his grappling will be his strong point for this win. And so we go with Kyle Nelson getting it done. Juan Adams taking Arjun Bueller in the UFC heavyweight division. We want to go Bueller getting it done here. He has a record of 8-1. He has more experience. He has a solid wrestling background. Juan Adams is a big dude with a lot of power. But I think he can gas out later on in the fight. So we got to go with Bueller getting it done. Michigan Young versus Cole Smith on the first fight. I got to go with Michigan Young getting it done. Cole Smith, he's 6-0, not a lot of experience. Making his debut in the UFC. Dan Young's been around the sport for a while. He's been out for a little bit, but I think his experience will play a big role in getting it done. Thank you guys for watching my video. Like and subscribe.